run it back. Lost everything I ever wanted it back. Got a problem, never run from that. Have fun with that. Get the W, then double back. That shit.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll be watching the dynamic Tyreek Hill. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Dolphins and the Bills. Coming up next.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen going to look to throw on the first play. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. This defense for the Dolphins, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Allen going to throw. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Christian Wilkins racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Allen. It's complete to Diggs. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Now Hill to return it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
On play action, they'll throw. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, 41 yards. yards. And the Dolphins have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought of a return here for Hines. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 90 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And Davis will have a Bills first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Allen to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Here's Berrios. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when the...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the
So
play,
that one
ruling on the field
overturned.
is
They
reversed.
say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time in the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins! Braxton Berrios, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Bills nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Now Allen. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give running right. It's Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Miami set to take over. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 30-yard line. They're going to look to throw. This is caught, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 30 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought of a return here for Hines. The Bills offense back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Let's go.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll look to throw here. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. And here come the Bills. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Allen now looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Davis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cook up the gut. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Ready?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Here we go. Set.
He'll drop to throw. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
and not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands. Let's go now.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fired.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Braxton Berrios. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half.
Bills nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And here comes Berrios.
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback?
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle,
His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year.
and the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and a route is on here in this first half.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Allen's throw taken in by Diggs.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Allen. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And Diggs has it. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good.
Ready up.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And on the way in for a Miami touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the first half is winding down.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
At the 24-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start out with a rematch of that low-scoring Super Bowl 53. New England, the winners of that game, traveling to L.A. to take on the Rams. And it's the Rams who are out in front as those teams approach halftime. A touchdown run there for Kyron Williams. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Travis Etienne, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Jerry Jeudy, a touchdown reception. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Final pass to kick off for Buffalo.
Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. Now he's loose again. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle. 78 yards. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen, throw right side, caught by Davis. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll try the middle with Cook, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times. There he goes, left side.
Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Bills. Dalton Kincaid.
69 yards.
And the Bills are able to at least get one score back.
So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Oh, this is blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And bulldozing his way through. Past midfield, look out. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
That is complete downfield to Knox.
Touchdown, Dolphins.
Dawson Knox,
41 yards.
and the Dolphins extend their lead yet again.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
He may go.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
James Cook, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bills are able to claw one back.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, When guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points.
Jason Sanders is the kickoff for Miami.
So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. But James Cook and the Buffalo offense returning to work now.
He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Flush to his right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Allen going to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jerome Baker able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Returnable here from the 38.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it.
Touchdown!
Jalen Waddle.
With touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen.
This taken in by Kincaid.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To the air, Allen.
He's got his target. That's complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run with Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Allen.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. The kick by Bass is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's been a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding them.
I got to be honest, I want to see 5. No, you want to see 5? I mean, we're not supposed to be biased, but...
We're not rooting. Just in the interest of the game, let's go ahead and see 5. Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Down the right sideline, and he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Let's go.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Ready.
Caught on the slant. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Jalen Waddle.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with a touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
The Bills going to take over again on offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Myles Garrett in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Allen. Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
That's good for a Buffalo Bills. 1st and 10.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Allen. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And that will be incomplete.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal.
Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, Any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Breaks through the contact. And there he goes again. Look at him go inside the 30. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give him a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted.
Inside the 20.
And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest, but now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly, but they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And they can run this score up even further as they begin this drive with a 1st and goal and that huge lead.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Here's Mostert.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go.
Come on, set. Ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
And well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get them the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. This offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Dolphins,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.